It wasn't until I found agricultural education and FFA that I found out that that's where I belong.
Going into high school, the three things I knew about myself for sure was that I loved animals, I loved meeting new people, and I loved singing. So I decided that if I didn't make it as a professional singer, because I'm not really good at singing, that I'll become a veterinarian.
Well, at first it was the free food at the meetings, but that is not what kept me there. What kept me there was my advisor telling me that I had potential, and it was in FFA that I should let it grow.
Something that has become quite apparent to me over this past year and during my time as an FFA member is that all FFA members are different.
I joined FFA when I was a freshman in high school because of my agricultural education courses.
I joined FFA because I grew up on a farm, and since my life was literally centered around agriculture, I figured that agricultural education was the right place for me in high school.
It combined two of my favorite things, agriculture and education.
Over the course of my 4 years in high school, I found out that I didn't really want to be a veterinarian, but that I had a passion for spreading my love of agriculture to others. So I decided to go into ag ed.
Every single time I walked through those classroom doors, I felt accepted and I felt loved exactly how I was. It didn't matter what my hair looked like, it didn't matter what I was wearing. People accepted me for being me. And I knew that if those were the kind of people in FFA, I wanted to be around them all the time.
FFA has allowed me to find my potential. It's where I found my closest friends. It's where my passions have become reality.
But what I didn't know is that I would find the National FFA organization hidden inside that 9th grade freshman classroom.
We have different interests, different passions, and different backgrounds. So I think it's really cool that the national organization and our state association has a variety of different ways for students to pursue leadership in agriculture.
Those 4 years of FFA in high school brought me to where I am today as a state officer.
This organization makes a difference in the lives of others. I know that who I'm going to be in 20 years, I can owe back to this blue and gold jacket. So the reason why I chose FFA is because of that. Because of the values that it instilled in me to grow, lead, and serve.
And I'm so glad I joined FFA because it showed me how I can strengthen agriculture, build community around me, and be a good leader by being exactly who I was.
I joined FFA because it made sense, but I stayed in FFA because of the opportunities and the experiences and the growth that I was able to find because of my participation in the FFA.
And this amazing opportunity has taught me so many things. I think the biggest lesson I learned this year was to participate and not anticipate. This means being positive and present in everything that I do.
The biggest lesson that I have learned as a state officer this year has definitely been adaptability. From balancing a school schedule and a life schedule and an FFA state officer schedule to being a sort of new kind of state officer and bringing opportunities to students in a new setting, adaptability has allowed me to continue to grow and to push and to dive into my passions and help others find theirs along their journey as an FFA member.
If there's one thing I've learned this year, it's that you can let your light shine in any area of life you choose, as long as you're yourself.
I learned that it's not all about being the center of attention. It's not all about being the loudest, most vibrant person in the room. It's about being the one that's willing to put in some legwork and serve those around them and make a difference in the lives of others. Is that it don't matter if you're in a Bojangles in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Elizabethtown, North Carolina, or way up in Ashe County. Somebody in that Bojangles is going to recognize those snazzy jackets we get to wear. FFA was just as effective in 1928 as it is today in 2020.
There were so many times during this year where I had workshops or speeches and experiences planned, but those plans quickly changed. And it was flexibility that kept me going, where we had our entire spring planned, but those plans quickly changed, and it was flexibility that got us back on our feet.
One thing that I've learned this past year is that we are stronger and more resilient than we could ever imagine. This year has brought its own individual set of challenges. However, for each of these challenges, there's been some sort of new lesson learned or opportunity for growth.
Thank you, North Carolina FFA.
Thank you, North Carolina FFA.
Thank you so much, North Carolina FFA.
Thank you, NCFFA.
Thank you, North Carolina FFA.
Thank you, FFA.
For showing me how I can strengthen agriculture by being Sarah Beth.
For all of the memories.
For inspiring me over this past year.
For your unconditional support over this past year.
For making this the best year of my life.
For opening the door for exponential growth, success, and service.
Since the day my teammates and I got elected in Raleigh, to this very moment, you all have welcomed us with open arms, open minds, and open hearts.
I don't think I've ever loved more and laughed more and smiled more than I have this year.
And I'm beyond grateful for this past year serving as a state officer for the best association in our organization.
I've seen a lot and I've done a lot and I've heard a lot, but nothing compares to the people that I've met.
Over this past year, I've been so very blessed to wake up every day knowing that I get the chance to serve the next group of world changers. I'm so excited to see the way that you all continue to grow, lead, and serve. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, North Carolina FFA.